Words to know. Ask a question that uses one of the blue words. Food. All kinds of food can grow in a garden. First, the seeds are planted in the soil first. Ground. Keep the ground near the plants wet. Sometimes pumpkins grow very big. Under. Carrots grow under the ground. These tomatoes are ready to be picked. Right. You can pick pea pods right off the vine. What will you plant in your garden? Read and comprehend. Author's purpose. Authors may write to make you laugh or to give information. The reason an author writes something is called the author's purpose. As you read informational text, think about what the author wants you to learn. You can list details that explain the purpose in a chart like this one. Summarize. Stop to tell important ideas about the topic. Use text evidence. Preview the topic. Agriculture. Do you know where your food comes from? Many fruits and vegetables grow on farms. First, farmers plant seeds. They take care of the plants. Farmers pick the fruits and vegetables when they are ripe. Then the food is sent to stores for us to buy. You will learn more about food and where does food come from. Author's purpose. Find details that show the author's purpose. Genre. Informational texts give facts about a topic. Look for information and facts in the words. Photographs that show details about the real world. Meet the author and photographer. Shelley Hutner. Shelley Hutner started writing books about things that interested her daughter. If you have questions about the world around you, the answers might be in a book by Miss Hutner. Meet the author, Gary Goss. Gary Goss says, I have food and creating. I also love working with kids. Mr. Goss has written a children's cookbook called Blue Moon Soup. Where does food come from? Written by Shelley Hutner and Gary Goss. Essential question. What do farmers need to grow food? Cocoa beans are seeds. They grow on cocoa trees. Chocolate is made by crushing and cooking cocoa beans. Hot cocoa is made from chocolate. Apples are fruits that grow on trees. An apple is picked right off the tree. Apple juice is made by pressing the juice from apples. Potatoes are vegetables. These vegetables grow under the ground. French fries are made from potatoes. Wheat is a grain that grows in fields. Flour can be made by crushing the wheat. Bread is made from flour. Rice is a grain. It grows in wet fields called paddies. Rice that you eat is made by cooking the grain. Corn is grain that grows in fields. Popcorn is made from corn. First, you heat it and then it pops. Analyze the text. Conclusions. Do the children like the food they are eating? How can you tell? Milk comes from cows, or sometimes from goats. Butter, cheese, and ice cream are made from milk. The eggs you eat are laid by hens. The hens live on farms. There are many ways to cook eggs. Tomatoes grow on vines. Ketchup is made from tomatoes. Analyze the text. Author's purpose. Why do the authors show a picture at ketchups near tomatoes? Honey is made by bees. They bring the nectar of flowers to the hive. Maple syrup is made from sap. The sap drips from maple trees. Where does your favorite food come from? Comprehension. How to analyze the text. Use these pages to learn about author's purpose and conclusions. Then read Where does food come from again. Author's purpose. Authors write for many reasons. Why do you think the authors wrote Where does food come from? What did they want you to learn? You can find details in the selection that help explain the author's topic. Use a chart to list the details that support the author's purpose for writing. Conclusions. Sometimes authors do not tell all the details. Readers can use text evidence and the words and pictures and think about what they already know to make a smart guess about what the author does not tell. This smart guess is a conclusion. Think about the page in the selection that tells about honey. One conclusion you might make is that bees make honey from flower nectar. Your turn. Return to the essential question. Turn and talk. What do farmers need to grow food? Think about what the authors want you to learn. Take turns asking questions about where food comes from. Use details and other text evidence to help you answer. Classroom conversation. Talk about these questions with your class. 1. Where does apple juice come from? How do you think it is made? 2. How are trees important in this selection? How are animals important? 3. Why did the authors write this selection? Write about reading. Response. Write a paragraph about your favorite food from the selection. Begin with a topic sentence to tell which food is your favorite. Next, write detailed sentences to tell why you like it. Give reasons. Then write a sentence that gives an ending. My favorite food is... Writing tip. A closing sentence comes at the end. It gives your writing a nice ending. Genre. A fairy tale is an old story with characters that can do amazing things. Many fairy tales have storytelling phrases such as once upon a time and happily ever after. Find these words. How do they make you feel? Why do you think the storyteller used them? Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Jack. He and his mom had no money for food because someone had taken their goose. Sometimes it would lay golden eggs for them. Jack went to sell their cow. He met a man. I will trade these special beans for your cow, the man said. Jack came home. His mother was mad. She threw the beans on the ground. Soon, a tall beanstalk grew. Jack climbed it. At the top was a huge castle. Inside, Jack found his goose in a cage under a table. Then Jack heard, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. Look out, here I come." It was a giant. First, Jack grabbed the goose. Then he ran right out the door. Jack climbed down the beanstalk as fast as he could. He chopped it down. Now Jack and his mother were safe, and they had their goose. They all lived happily ever after. Compare texts. Text to text. Write about food. Choose 3 foods shown in the selections. Write sentences to tell where each food comes from. What else did you learn? Text to self. Tell about food. Describe beans or another vegetable you have eaten. Tell how it looked and tasted. Text to world. Connect to technology. Use the internet to find out how people grow a food you like. Draw a picture that shows what you learned. Grammar. Names of months, days, and holidays. The names of months in a year, days of the week, and holidays begin with a capital letter. When you write a date, use a comma between the day of the month and the year. Month. We planted seeds on May 14, 2012. Days of the week. My dad cooked soup on Friday. Holidays. My family eats turkey on Thanksgiving. Try this. Write each sentence correctly. Use another sheet of paper. Tell a partner what you did to correct each sentence. 1. Ali began school on September 8, 2011. 2. She has science club every Friday. 3. There was no school on Memorial Day. 4. Last Wednesday, our class took a field trip. 5. School ended on June 14, 2012. Grammar in writing. When you proofread your writing, be sure you have written the names of months, days, and holidays correctly. Narrative writing. Sentence fluency. When you write a friendly letter, use different kinds of sentences to make it lively and interesting. Ned drafted a letter about a special meal he had. Then he added a question. Revised draft. Then we tasted all the food. Can you guess my favorite? The apple pie was best of all. Writing traits checklist. Sentence fluency. Did I write different kinds of sentences? Did I tell about events in order? Did I use capital letters and commas correctly? Look for different kinds of sentences in Ned's final copy. Then revise your writing. Use the checklist. Final copy. March 8, 2014. Dear Mario, my school had a potluck supper. First, each class cooked something. Then we tasted all the food. Can you guess my favorite? The apple pie was the best of all. Your friend, Ned.